Suicide in Nepal has long been shrouded in silence and stigma. In the past, acts like sati were seen as religious or social obligations, not personal despair. Cultural and religious beliefs, especially in Hinduism and Buddhism, viewed life as sacred and suicide as a source of shame and bad karma. Families hid suicides, fearing judgment and social exclusion. There were no formal support systems. Help came from family or religious leaders, not mental health professionals. The legal system once treated suicide as a crime, punishing survivors and deepening the silence. This criminalization pushed the issue further into the shadows, making it harder for people to seek help. Traditional support was based on social bonds, not medical understanding. Only recently has Nepal begun to move away from this legacy, opening up conversations about mental health and compassion. Our challenge now is to replace silence and stigma with support and understanding. For decades, Nepal's laws treated suicide attempts as crimes, not cries for help. Survivors faced arrest, and families hid the truth to avoid shame and legal trouble. This criminal approach discouraged people from seeking medical care and reinforced stigma. Health workers were forced to report cases, undermining trust. Recently, activists and professionals have reframed suicide as a public health crisis, not a criminal act. The 2017 Maluki Criminal Code decriminalized suicide attempts, though abetting suicide remains a crime. Despite legal progress, old attitudes persist. Police still investigate suicides, and most data comes from law enforcement, not health services. The shift from punishment to prevention is slow but underway. We must continue changing how we talk about suicide, focusing on care and support. The goal, a society where those in pain are met with compassion, not fear. Changing laws is just the first step. Changing minds is the real challenge. We all have a role in breaking the cycle of silence. Let's move from shame to support. Rapid change in Nepal brings new pressures that strain mental health. Economic hardship and migration for work separate families, causing stress and loneliness. Traditional support systems are fading as people move to cities, leading to isolation. Social media amplifies unrealistic expectations, especially for youth. Family conflicts, exam pressure, and domestic violence add to the burden, particularly for women. Many young people feel unable to talk to parents, fearing blame or misunderstanding. Access to mental health care is limited, especially outside major cities. Stigma keeps people from seeking help, fearing they'll be labeled pagal. The result? Many suffer in silence, feeling trapped and alone. These combined pressures make suicide feel like the only escape for some. Addressing these issues requires both social and systemic change. Suicide is a growing crisis in Nepal, with over 7,000 deaths reported in 2020 to 21, about 20 every day. Young people and adults in their most productive years are most affected, making suicide a leading cause of death for ages 15 to 49. Women and girls attempt suicide at high rates, often linked to domestic violence and social pressures. Hanging and pesticide poisoning are the most common methods, reflecting both desperation and easy access. Rural areas are especially vulnerable due to the availability of toxic chemicals. Stigma and past criminalization mean many cases go unreported, so the real numbers are likely higher. Each statistic represents a lost life and a grieving family. These numbers demand urgent action and targeted prevention. We must focus on vulnerable groups and regulate access to lethal means. Suicide is not just a personal tragedy, it's a national emergency. The data is a call to act, not just to count. National crises leave deep scars on our mental health. The Maoist conflict uprooted families and shattered communities, fueling trauma and despair. The COVID-19 pandemic brought isolation, job loss, and anxiety, leading to a spike in suicides. Natural disasters like the 2015 earthquake caused massive loss and psychological trauma. Survivors faced grief, fear, and uncertainty, often without support. These events show how quickly mental health can deteriorate when society is shaken. Our mental well-being is tied to the world around us. Crises expose our vulnerabilities. We need mental health services that can respond quickly in times of disaster. Building resilience means preparing for both everyday struggles and national emergencies. Strong support systems save lives during and after crises. Our collective strength depends on caring for each other, especially in hard times. Suicide is a public health issue, not a crime or moral failing. It's often the tragic result of mental illnesses like depression or bipolar disorder, real treatable conditions. Prevention means early identification, treatment, and fighting stigma. Mental health care must be accessible everywhere, not just in cities. We need to talk about depression as openly as any physical illness. Social factors, poverty, discrimination, violence, raise suicide risk. Marginalized groups face extra challenges and need targeted support. Preventing suicide requires both health and social solutions, reducing poverty, protecting rights, and building strong communities. Everyone has a role, not just doctors. We must change the conditions that cause despair, not just urge people to be strong. Real change means compassion, justice, and connection. Preventing suicide starts with recognizing the warning signs. Watch for withdrawal, loss of interest, changes in sleep, or talk of hopelessness. Emotional signs include mood swings, deep sadness, or sudden calm after distress. Take expressions of unbearable pain or feeling like a burden seriously. Cognitive signs, trouble concentrating, persistent negativity, or talk of no way out. If someone talks about suicide, listen with empathy. Don't dismiss their feelings. Ask directly if you're concerned. It shows you care and can save a life. Encourage reaching out to friends, family, or professionals. Help is available. Reaching out is strength, not weakness. Together, we can build a community where it's safe to ask for help. Mental health hotlines in Nepal. Tuth Suicide Hotline 1166. Koshish, Nepal, toll-free helpline 16600122322.